prove it this weekend. The IHRA sold more advance tickets to this event than ever before in their history. Huge crowds have descended on this resort town in Ontario, about an hour from Detroit, and they have seen quite a show. When the IHRA circus rolls into your area, make sure to attend. Tickets are a bargain, and you'll never see better drag racing. And we're going to get right back to the action with Screaming Eagle Nitro Harley semifinals, where Mancuso gets a single pass.
Boy, he does, Ralph. Alan Peterson can't make it back. He broke his engine the round before. And Mancuso got very lucky there. Almost crossed the center line on a single pass.
Jay Turner, the Bulldog, in the far lane, and Doug Vance on the near lane. They both make it back. Vance on the drag specialties bike. Slower off the line.
Boy, you see that bike have a lot of problems smoking the tires a lot of times with Turner getting the win.
Well, here we are. We got 2 world champions. We got one final here. First 98 champion, Johnny Mancuso. Forget about the racer, but what do you think of this guy sitting or standing right next to you here?
Woof, woof.
And the response would be?
Look out, cat.
Realistically, who has the stronger bike going into this final round?
Jay's definitely got the advantage because we've been struggling pretty much all weekend, and they've been, running pretty darn consistent and pretty good most every pass. So,
are you going to buy that, or do you think he's posturing?
There's not a such thing as a stronger bike going. They're all even, I would say.
Oh, of course Turner would say that, Tommy. His bike's been a rocket ship all year. He's had the field covered.
Boy, in the final round, Johnny Mancuso up against Jay Turner, and it's a rematch of the final round at Rockingham. Plus, it's Turner's 3rd final round in a row, and also Mancuso's 3rd final as Steve Storter, his teammate, was in Darlington.
The 2 best teams in Screaming Eagle Nitro Harley drag racing. Jay Turner, he's been to 3 finals himself, and Mancuso's team's been to 3. 2 himself, 1 with his teammate Steve Storter.
Well, this ought to be a good drag race, Ralph. It's 2 of the best bikes in the class right here in the final round.
Lock the shields down, ease into the lights.
Boy, they leave dead even. No advantage for either rider.
Oh, and Turner just puts him away. What a beautiful run. 668. And Jay Turner gets his 2nd win in a row. Bobby Buckley excited. He's going to go catch his rider at the far end. Once they get off the line, Tommy Turner just kept that front wheel down and moving away.
At the 8th mile part, they were dead even, but it was Turner taking the win.
Well, Bulldog, that may not have been the prettiest run that we've ever seen, but again, it's another W, and Team Bulldog is on a roll.
Well, we're doing good. We're happy. It was a great weekend for us. We had a good trip to Canada. We look forward to coming back. I'm sure we will. By the side of this crowd, I thank Mopar for sponsoring the event. And our sponsors, Wall Enterprise, Harley Davidson, and Kenny Central Tire and Auto, and we're just, we're tickled to death. We got things going, and we've been to 3 races, 3 finals, won 2 of them. We're just, we're happy to be here.
Jay, visually, it looked like you were really hanging off the side of that bike. Were you fighting it?
Yeah, I shut it off early. It was started going, making a hard right turn, and you can't win races if you run into walls or running over cones or something like that. And then I felt like Johnny must have had a problem or something, so I just made sure that I stayed in my lane and picked up a win, or made him pass me right at the lights, one or the other.
Jay, how about a Mopar Ironman?
That's right.
There you go.
Yes.
Congratulations, Jay.
Boy, Ralph, he's going to have to start making a little more room in his trophy cabinet for some of them trophies. He keeps on winning races like this. At Rockingham, Steve Spees made this pro stock pass, but the outcome wasn't what he was looking for.
Steve, first of all, any ill effects after the crash? You've had some time to recover?
It took all of 7 weeks. There's one glad thing we had a big break here because I've been sore.
Steve Spees was having a good year with his first ever pro stock win at Darlington. Rockingham started off the same way. The Chevy driver in the semifinals again. Quickly, a good year goes very, very bad.
Tell us about the car. What car are you in now?
I'm in Mosier's old Cutlass, which is an excellent car. We're doing pretty well this weekend. We're going to run it the rest of the year.
Even after that horrible wreck, Steve Spees, believe it or not, still sits atop the Summit Drag Racing points for pro stock. John Yoke and John Montecalvo try to catch him. Jerry Yeoman's only 5 points behind Montecalvo.
Boy, in the pro stock brackets today, it's going to be Ron Miller up against Wally Stroop. And Jerry Yeoman will take on Gene Wilson. Steve Spees qualified number 8 in that new car. And Tommy Lee, Tim Neighbors, John Montecalvo, and Baker will take off in the first round.
All right, now here's our first pair. Steve Spees in the left lane. Koenig Schofer, quicker off the line. Spees gets him at the far end. Amazing how that man's year is going. Round 2 action.
Chevy against Pontiac, John Montecalvo against Rice. Both of them leave without 1,000ths of a part on the starting line. Nice tight race, 669 to 670.
Montecalvo gets the win.
All right, Gene, you're in an IHRA Mountain Motor Pro Stock. You're just now approaching the starting line. What are you doing?
Well, as we exit the burnout area, we're approaching the staging beams. You roll up to the tree. Of course, you got your clutch pedal pushed in, your hands on the shifter. You roll in, you turn your first amber on. As you turn the first amber on, you pump up the brakes to about 1,100 pounds. You hit the line lock button, which locks the front tires, okay? As we sit there and get ready to go, we slowly let the clutch pedal out. Turn the second bulb on. When we turn the second bulb on, the clutch pedal goes to the floor, and so does the engine. So we're sitting there waiting on the yellow lights. When the yellow lights are activated, we let go of the clutch pedal and the line lock button simultaneously. We wait for the engine to accelerate through first gear. We hit second, then we hit third, fourth, and then fifth. And we wait 2.5 seconds, and we're at the end of the track. Get to the end of the track, you push the clutch pedal in, grab for the parachutes, and hope it slows down.
So basically about all that happens in 6.5 seconds, right?
About 6.5 seconds, and let me tell you, these things can be a handful. There's a lot of noise going on in here the whole time, and it's hard to concentrate.
Now, Ron Miller and Gene Wilson will square off. The Ford in the far lane. Wilson gets the jump.
Well, what a close race, Ralph.
And the Chevy comes out the winner. Tom Lee in the near lane. John Montecalvo in the far lane. Here you got the Ford Mustang going up against the Monte Carlo.
Boy, they leave together on the start line. It's a brand new car for Tommy Lee, but it won't pull out the victory today as Montecalvo gets the win.
One for the Bowtie Brigade. Now to the Pro Stock Final. Ron Miller up against Montecalvo.
Two familiar faces in the Pro Stock Final. What a hole shot. John Montecalvo, a 778 reaction time. Something must have went wrong and threw off his concentration. Miller taking the win at a 668.
Boy, Montecalvo just got absolutely left at the line.
Congratulations.
Thank you a lot. I just want to praise the Lord for making it all happen. Greg Moser, everybody on the Moser engineering team are great. My Darren, Tim, my wife Sharon, Mary Ann, all of them did a super job this weekend.
Tell me about the run. At 665, it must have been just about picture perfect.
It was really good. It was, I think John had trouble or something, but you know, it was a great run. It felt good. It shook just a little bit in third gear, but it was a great run.
Hey, you like controversy? Pro Mod's your class. Supercharger versus nitrous.
I would look real hard at what it would take to slow the blower cars down without them having to hurt their engines every time they go out and make a pass to get parity in this thing. We're looking for controversy. We're also looking for parity.
This portion of the IHRA Summit Drag Racing Series is brought to you by Mopar Parts, the Mopar difference. Unlimited, that's the idea behind Pro Mod, and these racers take that attitude to the limits, especially their paint schemes. Maniacs, Predators, and Grizzlies, oh my! Points for Pro Modified. Fred Hahn on top of the point standings as we make our way north of the border. Ed Hoover, Al Billis, Ricky Smith, and Todd Tutterow tied, or Smith and Tutterow for 4. Tommy, how about the brackets?
Well, we're going to see a lot of blower and nitrous matchups today. Fred Hahn up against Shannon Jenkins. There's one right there. Al Billis and Dale Brinsfield to go up against each other. Troy Critchley and Tommy Gray, another blower versus nitrous matchup.
All right, here's our first one. Carl Spearing in the new ECW car. Don't forget, you can see ECW on TNNs on Friday nights. Up against the 57 Chevy of Pat Moore. Off the line, Moore gets the jump. Now, what do they do at the far end? Look at this. Spearing with the chokehold. He gets the win, 655. Al Pittman going up against Quayne Stott. Stott, the Corvette on the right side of your screen, gets the jump. Pittman's coming after him, Tommy.
Boy, you can hear that blower coming, but it's not enough as Quayne Stott gets the win at 6:43. So it's 1-1.
Now, Troy Critchley in the Iron Horse up against the Undertaker, Tommy Gray.
Well, Critchley struggled this year so far. Let's see if he can get it together north of the border in Canada.
Gray gets the jump. Critchley gets the win.
Lower horsepower took over on the top end.
How that big sled moves at 223 miles an hour, I'll never know. Shannon Jenkins, our first look at the Viper up against the Corvette of the points leader, Fred Hahn.
Once again, another blower versus nitrous motor. And it's, boy, both cars moving around, getting all over the place. But Hahn, 6:29, outstanding run for as much problems as he has.
Now the Vipe gets snake bit. Ronnie Hood and Carl Spearing go on to the next round.
It's pretty even so far. We've had nitrous, we've had blower cars win. Look at the car moving around, fighting it all the way, staying with it. Wow, that is impressive to take a win after moving around your lane that bad.
Chokehold in the first round, off the top rope in the second round. Now Fred Hahn, the points leader, at it again in the next round.
Oh, and a foul start there for Wasco. They left way too early. Knew when he had to take a chance against Hahn running those kind of numbers. 6:32, another outstanding run.
Well, he had to take a shot at him. Critchley in the left lane, Quayne Stott down the right lane.
Boy, Quayne Stott with a big hole shot on Critchley, but we'll see if he can hold him off, because here comes the big blue machine.
Oh, my. Critchley does it again. Wow, they got that machine working well today. Al Billis and Steve Kostas. Billis is in that big bright yellow with the purple flames.
No advantage really for either one on the start line. Let's see who can keep it straight. And it's Al Billis taking the win, 6:43. So the blower cars are getting the advantage, it seems like, Ralph.
Al Billis and his supercharged Studebaker are keeping race fans revved north of the border.
Yeah, I just love it. Everyone's got to have someone to root for, and the fans come out here and they're rooting for you. And yeah, there are more here than I'd say any other race. That's wonderful.
But it's not just the fans feeling Billis' passion for Pro Mod.
I'm a tinkerer, and I love changing, modifying things. It's not as much a drive down the racetrack as to see how well our changes perform on the racetrack and make sure that I can do as good a job driving the car.
The son of Canadian Motorsport Hall of Famer Dave Billis, it's almost as if Al was bred to be behind the wheel.
Well, my father, he's been involved in racing his whole life, but it's been Indy cars, stock cars, all forms of old track racing. And no, drag racing is just, I don't know why I generated the interest for it. I think it's just the fact I don't like fixing body panels, maybe. I don't know, but yeah.
And Al Billis loves the idea of more and more races in Canada.
Stock cars and the other forms of racing have got a lot of coverage. And it's because they're very organized. And this organization, the momentum it has, moving into Canada, it's wonderful, and everyone is excited. So that's great. Let's carry on and keep the momentum going.
Pro Modified action coming your way. When we come back, we'll have the finals from Canada. Stay with us.